breaking news.
Breaking news we're following this morning. A person is in the hospital after this crash. You can see the front end damage to the white SUV. It ran into a tree. This happened in the area of 49th and Underwood just before 2 o'clock this morning. The victim's injuries are not believed to be life-threatening. Also breaking news we're following. Omaha fire crews responding to a building fire. This happened in the area of 22nd and Willis Avenue just after 1 o'clock. Right now, details are scarce. We don't yet know how this all started. The good news is nobody was hurt. Stay with First Alert 6 on air and online as we work to learn new information. In the meantime, it's good to have you with us on this Thursday for our First Alert 6 streaming at 7 a.m. I'm Erin Hartley and joined by meteorologist Jarrett Lansford and the senior chief meteorologist Rusty Lord. We have just been really fortunate with this early February weather. I feel like a couple months ago we were talking about how maybe we're due for some really cold blasts, but we've just been very fortunate with Mother Nature.
And we get the sunshine back to even help warm the temperatures up even more. So no cold blast to be found.
Nope.
The first half of February is looking pretty low key, which is good news. Usually quiet and boring in our department means great stuff for you. So we have some high clouds moving through. A lot to look forward to today as the sun will be out. We didn't have that over the last couple of days, obviously, and that kept the cold temperatures cold all day. So we're starting off very similar to yesterday and the day before. 27 degrees right now with a bit of a southeast wind. So the difference is we'll have sunshine and it'll be able to warm up. Now there are some high clouds moving through. It looks a little thicker than what's actually out there. Sometimes high clouds show up a little strange on the satellite picture. But southwest winds right now will become northwest later on today. What does that mean for you? Well, gusts that could hit 30 miles per hour. So that'll be a little annoying today. Overall, though, not a big deal because it's going to also help bring in some of the warmth. So the high clouds that are moving through, we'll get those out of here over the course of the morning. And notice by lunch, we'll climb to near 50 degrees already. Some 40s on the Iowa side. Again, there'll be a good 10-degree range on the map from east to west today. But overall, the warmer air will be west, the colder air east. All of it will be pretty darn mild for this time of year. 58 by 3 o'clock, some 60s showing up in our Nebraska counties, and I think we ultimately top out about 59 or so for the high before we fall back a little bit into the evening hours. By 7, we're down near 50, and then we'll continue to fall off from there by 10 o'clock down near 40, and then overnight tonight we should dip a little bit, then the clouds roll in, and we'll be back to the clouds tomorrow, but warmer with the clouds. Last couple of days it's been clouds, 20s and 30s. Tomorrow it'll be clouds in 40s, which shouldn't be all that bad, but it'll be a little windy too. North wind gusts up 30 to 35 miles per hour most of the morning, and those will be stronger than anything we get today. So bank on a blustery one tomorrow. So the combo of the clouds and the wind will make it feel chilly compared to today. 59 in sunshine, but 46 for the high tomorrow is still 10 degrees above average. It'll just feel colder compared to where we're going today. 45 then and sun returning on Saturday with a south wind. Again, we would take 40s in November, but we are getting spoiled rotten with what we have going on today.
Okay, and it doesn't end in these couple days you've been talking about. It goes on for a couple more.
And we don't have any records with these, but we are going to threaten a record Monday. 63 is the record high set in 1954 for this upcoming Monday. We already have 64 in the forecast. Now, some models trend even warmer than that. It'll be very interesting to see how much we can break this record. It's one of the more attainable ones, but still a record high early next week. And all the warmth that we have, there's another facet we need to pay attention to. Potential for ice jams. National Weather Service has put out a flood watch. Now, these are just the counties where the Elkhorn and the Platte River and the Loop out into central Nebraska could have some ice jam issues as the ice melts, breaks up, and moves through the area. So it won't be for these entire counties. You've got to live right along the Platte or the Elkhorn to have some impacts from these if we get ice jams. There's none yet, but the melting over the next couple of days could break some of that free and cause some problems. 56 Sunday, 64 on Monday, some great weather there. And every afternoon gets some melting done of that river ice. So again, in a little bit of a February thaw here. And the next threat of any precipitation, whether it be rain or snow, still middle of next week. There's one, in some instances, two systems moving through, depends on what model you look at. So we'll hopefully iron out those details as we get closer.
So like you said, back to those ice jams, that's because it's it's being so warm right now.
So it'll thaw the ice, it'll break loose and jam up, but usually what happens is, unless it's a big one, you get some 1 to 3 foot river rises right along the river. So if you got a house or any land right along the Platte or the Elkhorn, that's where you could have problems. Usually they're not impacting any large cities or anything.
Okay, good to know. Rusty, thank you. In the meantime, let's get to traffic. Also some good news to talk about.
Yeah, how about a nice smooth start to the morning so far?
Gosh.
Yeah, I feel like every time I say that, I feel like I'm jinxing it.
I know.
So,
but that's the truth right now.
So, are you doing it? Because otherwise we might jinx it. But yeah, it's a great start to the morning. Let's take a look at the maps where we have just a couple of spots that are a little slow, and that includes Cummings Street right around the North Freeway, where both directions are a little bit sluggish at this point. Watch for that as one spot where we have some slowdowns. That's off and on been showing up through the course of the morning. A little further to the south of JFK, as you've been approaching I-80, was pretty slow a little bit ago. That's improved. Don't be surprised in about 20 minutes or so if that does back up once again. Blair High has improved from some earlier delays that were in place. Particularly eastbound is where we were seeing those. That's not uncommon at this point in the morning as you're approaching the interstate. So that could, again, flare up as we pick things up. But right now, not too bad there. And then consistently, I've been seeing 180th and Q, where we've had some slow travel on both directions of Q, as well as at times 180th. And that is the case right now as well. So a few hit or miss spots where things are a little bit slow, but when you look at the full map, there's really not too many big problems that we've had. Haven't had much in the way of crashes that have been reported, and a lot of our big routes that start slowing down at this point, JFK, Dodge, are doing quite well at this point. Now, you want to make sure you have the sunglasses as you're heading out the door. We do have a little bit of high cloud cover right now, but as we go through the day, there will be plenty of that. Don't forget that with how cloudy that has been over the last couple of days, but it's a very bright outlook, at least for the commute right now.
Yeah, I'll say so for a Thursday. All right, Jared, thank you. New details now on an incident at a protest at Fremont High School. We're now learning that police have said they have ticketed 6 people after a student was hit by an SUV. Police are now charging that driver with leaving the scene. A child pedestrian was cited for being in the road. 3 other kids and 1 adult were cited for criminal mischief and disorderly conduct. An update to a bill that we have been following closely. LB 669 proposed asking women who come in for an abortion if they are in a domestic violence or human trafficking situation has failed to advance in the Unicam. Supporters pointed to a number of police calls that deal with domestic violence and the recent raid on metro area hotels that revealed a sex trafficking ring in the metro. Other senators believe there is no walking the line when abortion is connected to any proposal. Well, some call it a fair approach to property rights, others a blow to renters' rights. Now, right now, the city can require landlords to accept renters who use housing subsidies. A bill at the Unicam takes away the city's power to do so. LB 809 comes after voters in Lincoln approved a ballot initiative stopping landlords from rejecting tenants based on their source of income.
It doesn't just hurt renters, of course, it hurts entire communities. In the neighborhoods Spark serves, from North and South Omaha all the way to Norfolk and beyond, these forms of income assistance are essential tools to prevent displacement and keep long-time residents rooted in their communities as property values rise.
Landlords and property attorneys testified in favor of the bill. They say they don't want the rules to be different from city to city. They add that being forced to accept Section 8 vouchers makes it difficult to keep up. Over here at the safety desk now with Maria Cade, researchers say there's a new reason you might want to consider the Mediterranean diet. We hear all about this.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more popular, but this research is finding that plant-forward eating style might lower the risk of stroke, specifically in women. So researchers followed more than 100,000 women who were a part of a study that started back in 1999. Now, those women that ate the Mediterranean diet were 18% less likely to have any type of stroke. The diet specifically emphasizes veggies, fruits, beans, nuts, fish, and olive oil. Now, meat and dairy are more limited, but there is moderate alcohol consumption that is allowed. Past studies have also found that the diet might lower the risk for dementia, gum disease, depression, breast cancer, and diabetes as well. So it seems, according to all this research, that there are a lot of health benefits.
Okay, switching gears in the meantime, a new study is predicting the number of deaths could rise if the International aid cuts continue.
Yeah, this one a little bit more unfortunate. Researchers say an additional 9 million people could die by 2030, which is right around the corner, if funding cuts around the world keep happening. Now, those fatalities would include about 2.5 million kids. Researchers say that they might otherwise survive if the money is there. There was another study that looked at the dismantling of the U.S. Agency for International Development. It also said it would have a negative effect on this, and that also factored in reductions from the UK, Canada, Germany, and other countries. So some pretty large impacts that could happen.
Yeah, sure is. Okay, Marie, Kate, thank you. We're back after this. All right, welcome back. Time now 7:15
Wait for it.
now on this Thursday morning. I didn't want to lie to viewers and say it was 7:14. Okay, well, we're talking about really just fabulous weather on a Thursday in early February.
Yeah, the afternoons are going to be great, and that's what I want you to focus on here, the beautiful afternoons that we have. You still want a coat to start the day, but man, is it going to warm up, and it's going to feel phenomenal. We got upper 20s, lower 30s right now. Should have great weather once the sun gets a little higher and starts to do its job. So we're going to warm up at a very quick pace today. Just have some high clouds to get rid of. You got 20s on the Iowa side, 30s on the Nebraska side, and that warmth starting to move in. Getting a very colorful sunrise. Looks phenomenal out there as we make our way through this one. A lot to look forward to. Winds out of the southwest for now, but they'll pick up out of the northwest a little later on in the day today. And the forecast will likely get us gusts up near 25, 30 miles per hour at times into the afternoon, late morning and afternoon hours. So today's forecast, upper 50s, lower 60s over much of the area. We get a great one. Notice how it's a little warmer on the west edge of the metro. The same can be said when you look at the viewing area as a whole. We got a lot of 50s on the Iowa side. You get more 60s on the Nebraska side, but a great stretch of weather. 3-day forecast shows, though, how Friday, even though we're still above average, about 10 degrees above average, this blanket of clouds to start off the day just won't really go anywhere until the afternoon, or at least try to break up until the afternoon. You can see by 3 o'clock some breaks showing up, and then again, kind of like yesterday, got a little sunlight to round out the end of the day yesterday, just not a ton of it though. So therefore, with that and the wind on Friday, it's going to feel colder even though we're still well above average. So gusts by early tomorrow morning probably go 30 to 35 for a while and then trail off a bit into the afternoon. So it gets a little lighter with that wind. But then 45 on Saturday, 56 on Sunday. Easily the best of the 2 days over the weekend. Notice Monday, 64. That already a record-breaking high in the forecast, which is 63 And we were tempted to go a little higher. So we'll see how the models go over the next couple of days, but to have a record-breaking high about 5 days out, pretty impressive this time of year. We got a lot of warmth on the way.
I mean, we're going to see people in shorts and t-shirts in that kind of forecast.
You joke, but that's going to happen.
We really will. And beyond those couple of days, does that continue into a 10-day?
Yeah, temperature-wise looks pretty good. A lot of 40s and 50s. We're not going to see 60s. Those that are wondering where on earth is winter and when is it going to show back up, well, you don't have that in the temperatures over the next 10 days. 40s, 50s, and that lone 60 there. A couple of systems to watch by the middle of next week. Let me show you what those look like longer range here. And you can see as we head into Wednesday, that would bring rain to our area. At least with this run, it's bouncing around a lot, but a piece of something there on Wednesday and then perhaps Thursday. Notice how a system goes through our south. And models really trying to figure out where to put both of these, but at least there's chances of rain and snow and any moisture whatsoever. We'll be watching that Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even a little bit on Friday by the end of next week. So all that being said, we got a lot of good weather leading up to that. Pay attention by the Wednesday time frame. We'll see what that turns into and find something to do outside. Outdoor activities will be full and trying to take in a little of the fresh air. You can open up the windows for a few days and what do they, I said there's a TikTok trend where you burp the house a little bit. You open up the windows. So
I
there
love
you go.
burping a bit. Yeah, burp in the house.
There you go.
It's nice to have a change of pace, too, just from keeping everything shut.
I know. It's fresh air. Just gets stuffy after a while.
Really stuffy. Okay, that'll be great. In the meantime, you have a breaking update this morning about a new crash you're following.
We didn't cross our fingers hard enough.
We didn't, I guess.
But yeah, this is 480 as you're heading northbound. Making your way toward Leavenworth, this is a new crash that has come in. You can see some of the delays that are showing up right around that area near Leavenworth. Let me show you the Nebraska DOT camera view of this. And the right lane is blocked as a result of this crash. So you need to stay left. It's right over here that we're looking at with that crash if you're trying to find it. And you can see people merging over to the left. So be ready for delays as you're making your way through that stretch, and stay left as you head through that stretch as well. Hopefully that does clear up somewhat soon. Aside from that, we've been pretty quiet to start off the commute, and you can see still a little bit slow on Cumming Street right near the North Freeway. Not major delays with that one. A little further to the west, we still are seeing our off and on delays in Millard as you make your way along Q Street, but that's about it. So that 480 stretch going to be the focus of the commute here for the next little stretch, with that being the biggest problem that we have. Again, that is northbound 480 with the right lane being blocked. Let's head back over to that one. There we go. So 480 northbound as you're heading toward Leavenworth. Right lane blocked. You want to stay left. Be ready for some delays that are in place there, and watch for those emergency crews that are working that scene. Give them a little extra room as they are on the seat of that one. Aaron.
All right, Jared, thank you very much. Happening today, there will be an open house and a ribbon cutting for the new Nebraska State Patrol office in Omaha. It's at I-680 in the 72nd Street area. The new office will house all aspects of NSP Troop A operations. That includes the patrol division, carrier enforcement, along with investigative and fingerprinting services. It all gets underway at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Coming up, McDonald's is getting romantic this Valentine's Day with a surprising new menu item. Find out what unexpected treat they're offering when we come back.
Happening next week, McDonald's has a way to ball out for Valentine's Day.
Yes, you got this fast food giant offering a kit that contains an ounce of caviar. It's meant to be paired with the restaurant's chicken nuggets. So this is actually a social media trend recently, if you guys didn't know. So the best part is, it's actually free. Starting next Tuesday at 11 a.m., you can order yours at mcnuggetcaviar.com. Now, it's unclear how many kits are going to be available, but at that price, come on, can't be too many. That's going to sell in a couple seconds.
Is it actual caviar?
It's actual caviar.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
The people are doing this?
People are doing, so it's on social media, people are trying something really simple like chicken nuggets with caviar, something really high end.
Something fancy.
Huh.
Yeah, so they're getting in on it.
They leaned in on it.
Now the question is, are you buying this for Liz?
Well, it's free. I mean, I love the price. So.
Wait,
Get on right now.
We're going to edit that part out.
back up, yeah. Is that the plan? Would she enjoy something like that?
I don't think she'd eat caviar.
Really?
I think the texture would probably, no, probably not. She's more of a texture person, so that wouldn't work.
Has anyone eaten caviar?
No.
I've never had it.
No?
Me neither.
Okay. We're all lower class, I guess. This is a lot. Okay.
That's I don't know. What was the other sauce? Was it like chicken nugget ranch sauce and caviar?
Could you imagine?
That sounds weird.
I guess I'm not going to try it.
I guess.
Okay. Time now for the First Load 6 team to prepare for our cut-in during the Today Show. We'll give you a bird's eye view as we work. You can watch that cut-in right here or over the air. Have a great start to your Thursday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
At 7:26 on this Thursday morning, it's great to have you with us. I'm Erin Hartley. Update about a brand new crash this morning with meteorologist Jarrett Lansford.
Yeah, pay attention if you're heading for 480. It's northbound as you're right around the Leavenworth area where we have this crash in place, and you can kind of see up here how things are slowing down in that stretch as you approach that. We have a view on the Nebraska DOT camera. The right lane blocked, the crash itself over on the shoulder, so you need to stay left, be ready for delays as you're making your way through that stretch. I've also been seeing the JFK start to delay as you're making your way from Q back toward about Cornhusker northbound. Watch for that being a place where you get slowed down. Much of the rest of the metro moving along pretty well, but we've got a couple of issues that have now started to flare up. Rusty.
Thanks, Jared. Temperatures out there right now in the 20s and some 30s, so a similar start to what we've had the last couple of days, but boy, is today going to be different. We're going to take those numbers and warm them up. Even with a wind that gets up near 30 miles per hour with some of the gusts, it won't cool us down. And sometimes a northwest wind can help warm us up, and we will get that today. Some high clouds to move through right now, but those are really going to move out, and we get a great afternoon filled with sunshine. We'll take near 30 this morning, go to 52 by noon, and 59 degrees for the afternoon high. A beautiful afternoon with sunshine. 46 clouds and wind on Friday, so that'll feel a little colder even though it's still 10 degrees above average. Back up into the 50s on Sunday. That's a record high of 64 on Monday. Aaron?
Breaking news we are following this morning. A crash. This happened near 49th and Underwood around 2 o'clock this morning. The victim's injuries are not believed to be life-threatening. The time now 7:28. Back here in about 25 minutes with another update.